Hello, thank you for joining with me. We are in A Course in Miracles Workbook for Students, Part 2 of the workbook, Lesson 239. The glory of my Father is my own. Let not the truth about ourselves today be hidden by a false humility. Let us instead be thankful for the gifts our Father gave us. Can we see in those with whom He shares His glory any trace of sin and guilt? And can it be that we are not among them when He loves His Son forever and with perfect constancy, knowing He is as He created Him? We thank you, Father, for the light that shines forever in us. And I'm going to go down to footnote 34. In the Bible, glory often refers to divine radiance. Therefore, the light that shines forever in us is also the glory of our Father that is our own. So we thank you, Father, for the light that shines forever in us, and we honor it because you share it with us. We are one, united in this light, and one with you, at peace with all creation and ourselves. And now we will read the commentary by Alan Watson and Robert Perry. This is Practice Suggestions by Robert Perry. As you repeat today's idea, be aware that glory means divine radiance. Thus, according to this idea, whatever holy light radiates from God is your light as well. Try to imagine this as you repeat the idea. I have found it helpful to add the following lines based on paragraphs 1 and 2. I claim this glory, setting all false humility aside. I see it in my brothers and realize this glory unites us with each other and unites all of us with God. This is the commentary by Alan Watson. Let not the truth about ourselves today be hidden by a false humility. One thing I am aware of, as I have not been before while doing the workbook, is that when it uses words we, us, and ourselves, it is not referring to just us students of the course. The we includes Jesus. After all, it is Jesus who is speaking throughout the book. This is no ordinary generic we that any author might use. Jesus is identifying himself with us and us with him each time a third-person pronoun is used. The truth about ourselves is the truth about you, me, and Jesus. In recognizing that, I get a sense of his joining with me that I've never quite had before. And I see in his use of the terms a purpose. And I see in his use of the terms a purpose to focus my attention on the sameness of myself, himself, and my brothers. When I see traces of sin and guilt in those with whom he shares his glory, I am seeing them in myself. That is a false humility. When I see my brother as guilty or sinful, it is because I am putting myself in that same class, and thus hiding the truth about myself. Guilt can take a seemingly saintly form. We are all just poor students of the course, weak and frail and constantly failing. And that guilt, that false humility, obscures your glory and my own. It is true that we are all just students, that we are all on the lower rung of the ladder and just beginning to be aware of all we really are. It is false spiritually to pretend to what we do not experience, but it is false humility to constantly emphasize our weakness by judging or focusing on failures. We all have egos, but we also all share the same glorious sonship. We need to spend time from time to time giving thanks for the light that shines forever in us. We are one, united in this light, and one with you, at peace with all creation and ourselves. What I dwell on in my brothers is what I'm seeing and dwelling on in myself. How I view my brothers only reflects my view of myself. And here are some quotes from A Course in Miracles. Chapter 24, Section 7. Perception seems to teach you what you see, yet it but witnesses to what you taught. It is the outward picture of a wish, an image that you wanted to be true. And then here's chapter 25, section 1. How can you manifest the Christ in you except to look on holiness and see him there? In other words, you manifest the Christ in you only by looking on your brother and seeing the Christ in him. And then this is from 25, section 1, 2. Perception tells you you are manifest in what you see. Perception is a choice of what you want yourself to be, the world you want to live in, and the state in which you think your mind will be content and satisfied. It reveals yourself to you as you would have you be. And that's from chapter 25, section 1. If I would not hide the truth of my own glory, I cannot hide that of my brother. What is the same can have no different function. Chapter 23. If I deny the truth in my brother, I am denying it to myself. I am denying it in him because I am denying it about myself. When I mentally separate myself from someone and make him or her less than myself by judging, I am seeing only what my mind is doing to myself. I am hiding my own glory and therefore judging another, projecting the guilt outside. My judgment of another can then become a mirror to show me that I have forgotten who I really am. It can remind me, cause me to remember, and cause me to choose again to remember my status as Son of God, at peace with all creation and myself. Join me now in the meditation, and if you'd like to skip past to the What is Salvation section in the back, you may do that. The glory of my Father is my own. We thank you, Father, for the light that shines forever in us, and we honor it because you share it with us. We are one, united in this light, and one with you at peace with all creation and ourselves. Thank you so much for joining with me in the meditation. And now we move to what is salvation. We are on paragraph 5, sentences 1 and 2. Please be sure to read or listen to the What is Salvation section in its entirety every day. From here we give salvation to the world, for it is here salvation was received. The song of our rejoicing is the call to all the world that freedom is returned, that time is almost over, and God's Son has but an instant more to wait until his Father is remembered. Dreams are done, eternity has shined away the world, and only heaven now exists at all. And now we will read the commentary by Alan Watson. We turn from the world to the holy place within. We enter the holy instant where our illusions fall because we no longer support them, and we begin to see the world. We begin to see the vision of Christ, seeing the real world, and then we return to the world. From here we give salvation to the world, for it is here salvation was received. This moment is repeated again and again in both workbook and text. Away from the world of dreams into the holy instant, returning to give salvation to the world. The Course does not plan for us to retreat from the world, but to save it. It does not urge us into a withdrawn contemplative life, but urges us from within the state of mind we find in contemplation to offer what we have found to the world. The song of our rejoicing is the call to all the world that freedom is returned. Our inner healing bubbles over in a song of our rejoicing, and that song, the ebullient joy, becomes the very thing that calls the world back to its freedom. Nothing is so healing as a person whose face is radiant with joy. It is not so much that we come to the world preaching a new religion, but that we transform it by our joy. We represent a new state of mind. As the manual puts it, we stand for the alternative. We save the world by being saved. Thank you so much for joining with me. Tomorrow we will finish this section of What is Salvation? I love you. Have a beautiful day. Thank you for joining with me.